Step 1. We need to convert our photo to an SVG file. To do this, Google free photo to SVG converter. I like the Cute Cutter one because it has options to edit the details and even a step-by-step tutorial for how to use the tool. To walk through the tutorial, click on the tab titled How It Works. Here you'll find information on how to remove the background, as well as adjust the individual image settings for the best result. There are 4 image settings you can adjust with the tool: blur, edge, contrast, threshold, and remove speckles. Blur controls the amount of detail. Edge contrast will emphasize where dark regions and light regions meet. This setting works great when you want to emphasize texture like hair or fur. Threshold controls the balance of black and white in your image. It's good to adjust this first, then go back and fine-tune the blur and edge contrast settings. Lastly, the Remove Speckles option will remove little speckles from the cutout. To begin, click on Get Started, then click Upload New Image, and navigate to the image file on your computer. First thing you want to do is remove the background. Use the Mark Foreground tool to select the areas of the photo you want to keep, and the Mark Background tool to highlight the areas you want removed. Now that you've removed your background, there will be 3 layers. This helps visualize the final result when adjusting the image settings. You'll want to experiment with all 4 image setting adjustments until you have the desired result for your cut image. Once you have the image settings adjusted as desired, you're ready to download the SVG file. Click the Download button in the lower right. You should be able to locate the SVG file in your Downloads folder on your computer. Now launch Cricut Design Space and open a new project. Click the Upload button on the left-hand side of the screen. Click the Browse button and navigate to your downloaded SVG file. Rename the file and click Save. Select the thumbnail of your image and insert it onto your canvas. Your image will have 3 layers when loaded onto the canvas. Delete the pink background layer. It's just for getting a visual of what the SVG would look like with a solid background behind it. The white offset layer can be used if desired. I wanted a single layer image, so I deleted it. Next, I added a basic square shape to the canvas to use as a template for resizing my cut image to fit on the glass blank. Once you have adjusted the size of your cut image as desired, highlight and select both the basic shape and the cut image and click Slice or Subtract in the Combine menu option. Delete the extra layers to begin creating your stencil design. I generally keep one original cut and hide it on the Layers panel. But don't delete. This way, if needed later on, you can come back to the original and make adjustments as necessary. I wanted to include a few quotes on this project. I navigated to the image search and used keywords to find images that fit my theme, then added them to the canvas. I noticed I hadn't named and saved my project yet. Always periodically save your project during designing. Now just adjust the layout and sizing of the quote images where you want them on the stencil design. Just be aware, you want to leave a decent solid edge around the entire image since you'll be using it as a stencil design. Once the text images are positioned where desired, select all of them and use the Unite tool under the Combine menu options to create one layer that can be sliced from your stencil design. Select and highlight the original stencil image and the new combined text image, then click Slice. You will need to delete the extra layers, and then your stencil is ready to be cut. Again, ensure you save your project once more before clicking Make It. Select the Without Matte option if you are using Cricut Smart Stencil Vinyl. Otherwise, use the On Matte option. Click Continue, and then the Browse All Materials button to pull up the materials list and search Stencil. Select the appropriate cut setting for the type of stencil vinyl you'll be using. All that's left to do is cut and weed your stencil, then it's ready to use. Now let's walk through the etching portion of the tutorial. For cutting stencil vinyl with a Cricut machine, we need to use both the standard grip mat and fine point blade. It's always a smart idea to periodically pause the cut. To check your blade for debris, wipe it down with rubbing alcohol to clean after cutting very intricate designs. Weed the vinyl. Remove the inner stencil pieces from the vinyl backing using your weeding tool. Remember, you need to remove all of the design areas you want to get etched. Transfer the stencil to the blank using regular grip transfer tape. It is helpful to use a less sticky piece of transfer for this. I use my brayer tool first, then go back over it with the scraper tool. This helps ensure your stencil is adhered well without any bubbles under it. Remove the transfer tape by peeling it back away at a 45-degree angle. Sorry for the bad videoing. Using one hand to remove the transfer. I didn't lose any little pieces though. Add painter's tape around the edges of your stencil and any areas you want protected from etching. Next, we need some painter's tape, etching solution, safety glasses, mask, and gloves, as well as a small paintbrush and rubbing alcohol. Apply a thick layer of etching cream over the entire area to be etched. The bottle says to leave it on 1 to 2 minutes. I have found the best results with leaving it on for 15 to 20 minutes. And good news! You can scrape the excess back off into the bottle. It is reusable. Rinse the etching cream off completely under running water. Before removing your stencil, hold the glass up to light and check for any areas that didn't get etched well. Touch them up if needed using the previous steps. Remove the painter's tape and then remove the stencil vinyl. You know you got a good seal on the stencil when it comes up in pieces like this. Remove your larger areas by hand. They should peel easily. Use a weeding tool to remove the insides and remaining areas of the stencil. Just be careful not to scratch your glass. A tip is to use painter's tape around your hand to catch the little weeded bits. If the stencil is adhered well, you'll get nice crisp etch lines. But it does take a little more effort to remove the stencil. Totally worth it. Remove any leftover adhesive residue from the stencil that's on the glass with rubbing alcohol. Rinse well with dish soap and dry. Don't worry, the etching will be more obvious once dry. That's all there is to it, guys. Enjoy your beautiful work. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe down below for more. P.S. You can use this method to etch any compatible glass blanks. Do a tiny test spot with a toothpick before beginning to check. Another bonus. You can also mirror your design and cut it out of vinyl to apply to the other side, which is great for floating frames like this.